right here, right. Right.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Today is, excuse me, Monday, October the 21st. My name is Judge Esparza. We have some writ hearings scheduled this afternoon. Some of the defendants are not present in the courtroom at this time because there was an incident in the back and they're still sorting things out. So we'll start with who's ever in the courtroom and whatever attorneys are present. The defendant, there's 5 of them here, 2 females. They were sworn in earlier this afternoon. First case I'm going to call is Catherine Perez. Are you on the screen?
Yes, Judge.
We're going to call C 4798-24-F, State of Texas versus Jessica Cruz. Go ahead and stand up here in the middle of the room, Jessica. You speak English, correct? It's your motion, Catherine. You may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor, I had some discussions with Ms. Annalise Vargas earlier this afternoon in reference to the details of this case, and we reached an agreement with the state for a PR bond. I'm not sure if she's communicated that to Mr. Tijerina.
That's correct, Judge.
I can give background information if the court would like.
Where do you live, Ms. Cruz? What's your address? Is that where you receive the mail? Okay, you're gonna get a PR bond, which means you release. Once you're released, you need to stay in contact with your attorney. You will have to show up at the courthouse at a later date to take care of this. You understand? Also gonna order weekly UAs. You're gonna drug test you every week. First time you come back dirty, you're gonna end up back in jail. Is that clear? Bond will be reduced to $1,000 PR.
Thank you.
I'll have to follow up with a court dismissal as long as I'm listed as the defense attorney, not the plaintiff attorney.
Anything else, Ms. Perez?
No, Your Honor, that's all I have. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Good luck to you. Dan, are you there, Dan Mora? Next case we're gonna call is C 46, well, Pedro de Angel, that's you? C 4789-24-J, State of Texas versus Pedro de Angel. Dan, he's Spanish speaking, just go slow, please. He does have an ice hold, Dan.
Judge, and that's what we didn't have it, whether he had an ice hold or not at the time. So I went ahead and filed it at this time. I don't know if the court is still amenable to reducing it. It's at $30,000. It's a theft of property. I think it's kind of high, but either with that, they may require the full. Most bonds will require full amount. I know he's been in custody. I think we've got probably about 10 days.
Right.
Judge, 30,000, that's fair and reasonable. I mean, due to that ice hold as well. I'm not seeing any priors, but just due to that fact, Judge.
Sure, do you have family in Hidalgo County?
No, he left it. He told you my clients have to wait until the end of the day.
Do you have family in Hidalgo County, Mr. Dunn? Bond will be reduced to $7,500 cash. Anything else, Dan?
Oh, sir, I've got one other case.
Yeah, let me see if they brought him in. You can have a
He's right
seat.
there, Judge.
Juan Lopez?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're gonna call that one. C 2208-24-C, State of Texas versus Juan Lopez Jr. You speak English, correct, Mr. Lopez? May proceed, Dan.
Yes, Judge. We've had a case here. This is actually a newer case that he has. I know if you look at what we had, he actually was out on bond on an older case that's been charged as a robbery. I know I've spoken to the state on that. There was no, I don't think it meets the elements with regards to that. There was a failure to appear. He has ties to the Valley judge. I know he did pick up some cases while he was out. We've got reductions down to 5,000, or an evading arrest, and ag assault at 5,000. We're asking to see if we can get those reduced a little bit more, Judge. He's got quite a list, I know, but we're trying to get those reduced.
What says the state?
Judge, we think they're already pretty fairly low. I mean, we got the ag assault, 5,000, a robbery at 50,000, and then evading at 5,000. But we have a bunch of misdemeanors here that bring that total up to 140,000. Judge, I mean, he's out on bond, picking up new cases. Judge, we think those bonds are fair and reasonable, and the fact that he hadn't shown up before.
So he's been in custody 172 days. Where's the indictment on this case?
Annalisa's emailing Andy right now on my get as far as trying to see where we're at with the indictments. So we are trying to move those cases, Judge.
Our only concern, Judge, it's already been 90 days on this.
Yeah. Bond on the evading arrest will be reduced to $1,000 PR. Bond on the ag assault will be reduced to $1,500 cash surety.
That's all I have, Judge. Thank you.
Restrooms.
Like you
Around the corner, ma'am.
behave in the back, sir. You understand me?
Yes, sir. Ma'am,
If there are any more reports that
I
you
got my
misbehaving
still
back there, we'll put you. we'll
go
leave you
down
there.
and all the way
Clear?
down. Past the
Next
elevator.
case is C 4747-24-F, State of Texas versus Sergio Vera. You speak English, Mr. Vera? Al Alvarez,
Your Honor, for the record, Al Alvarez, I'm here on behalf of Mr. Guerra.
yes, sir, you may proceed.
Your Honor, as the court's aware, this is a intoxication assault. Normally, these are third degrees. This has been enhanced because I think the alleged victim is a police officer. Nonetheless, my client is an American citizen. All his family are on the screen and they are American citizens. He has a child that's an American citizen. He has no criminal history at all. He's employed and his employer is waiting for him to come back. Additionally, Judge, he has suffered a wound as a result of the accident, and that wound has become infected. And they are now taking him to the doctor, I think, every 2 days for wound care. So he needs some medical care, and he is not a flight risk, and he is not a danger based on the fact that he has no criminal history to the community. Therefore, my clients have all gotten together. They have tried to raise money to post a bond in this case. They are prepared to post a $40,000 cash or surety bond. They've accumulated $4,000. So that's what they're able to afford, a $40,000 bond, because all the bondsmen want 10% of the amount. This bond started off at $1.5 million. So we're asking the court for a reasonable bond, a bond that he can afford and his family can afford, and something that will ensure the safety of the community and assure the court of all his court appearances.
Hey, what says the state?
Judge, we're willing to reduce the $750,000 bond to a $500,000, $500,000 there. Judge, looking at the victim in this case who sustained multiple broken ribs. I mean, officers are speaking to him and he has symptoms of intoxication, the droopy eyes, the pupils, sort of speech. And due to the defendant's own injuries there, he wasn't able to perform the SFSTs. They did get a blood warrant for his arrest. A blood warrant to search his, We're still waiting on those results. but Judge, just to the safety of this community and to a message to the community as far as drinking and driving, I think this still would have been a second degree felony, even if it wasn't an officer, just due to the intox assault element here, where we got some serious bodily injury.
Mr. Guerrero, you went here when we swear everybody in, raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You can lower your hand. Where do you work, sir? How long have you worked there?
8 years.
What do you do there?
I'm a manager, security manager.
What city do you live in?
I live in Florida right now.
The house or an apartment?
I live in my parents. I have
How old are you?
32.
32? The magistrate who arraigned him ordered an ignition interlock device and a portable device. I know his vehicle was involved in the accident. If he doesn't have a vehicle, I'll allow him to get the portable device, or that's what was ordered, with the following windows. The portable device is like a cell phone, sir. It's about that big. You need to carry it around with you at all times. And you're gonna have to blow on it 3 times a day, between 6 and 8 a.m. in the morning, between 4 and 6 in the afternoon, between 10 and midnight every single day. If you miss or you come back positive for alcohol, we're gonna have a hearing to see why you shouldn't put you back in jail. Do you understand? No drugs, no alcohol while you're out on bond. You'll have 3 days, and this is ordered by the magistrate, 3 days upon release. If you're gonna be driving a vehicle, you're gonna need to get that ignition interlock device installed in your car too. Do you understand me? No drugs, no alcohol while you're on a bond. Bond will be reduced to $25,000 cash shooting.
Judge, with AIP,
I don't think we need AIP. He's got the internet, the portable device. First time he misses or comes back positive, we're gonna put him back in jail. Is that clear, sir? And make sure it stays charged. They'll contact you. Make sure you give them a proper working number. They'll contact you when you get out of here, and they'll give you a list of places to go get that device. Make sure you get it within the 3 days. Al, anything else?
That's all we have, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next case we're gonna call is C 4824-24A, State of Texas versus Jaime Garcia.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Vance Gonzalez.
Hang on, Vance. Hang on, Vance. Sorry.
He's one of the guys that's missing.
Okay, they haven't brought him in yet. We'll recall him later.
No problem.
Is that him?
Yes, that's it.
You speak English, sir?
Spanish.
What's your name? ¿Cómo te llamas?
Garcia. Jaime Garcia.
Wait a minute. Levanta la mano derecha. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? This is C 4824-24-8, State of Texas versus Jaime Garcia. Vance, it's your motion. He is Spanish speaking. Just go slowly, please.
Yes, sir. Judge, I've spoken with Mr. Garcia over the jail. I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties, but I believe that his bond on the burglary of the building's at $10,000. I know he has another DWI. I'm not sure whether that's been filed or not yet. But given his lack of a criminal history, we are asking to reduce it from $10,000 to $2,000 cash or surety.
He's got an ISO, Vince. Not sure if you were aware of that.
I was under the impression that he did not, based on my conversation with him, but if the court's willing to still entertain giving him a lower bond, even despite that, that would be appreciated.
All right, what says the state?
correct, Judge, it's already 10,000, it's already pretty low, and then we have that ice hold. I mean, the neighbors are seeing him, exit the residence there. I mean, just the facts of the case and to the safety of this community and the community's property, we ask that the bond not be reduced.
Mr. Mendoza, I'm sorry, Mr. Garcia, where do you live? What city do you live in?
Mission,
How long have you lived in Mission?
6 years.
Are you married?
Dile que yo tuve un cargo que estaba.
¿Es casado?
Me estuve casado y.
Are you married?
Casado en este momento.
En este momento no.
Not right now,
Who do you live with?
No, vivía con unos amigos.
pero with some friends,
Bond will be reduced to $5,000 cash surety.
estos $5,000.
Dígale que yo tengo un caso pendiente que está en proceso, tengo todos los papeles de la violencia doméstica.
Tiene que-
Bond is reduced to $5,000 cash surety. Have a seat. Toma asiento.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused, sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Vance.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
You too. Becca Lopez, are you here? Yeah. Gonna call C 4805-24-C, State of Texas versus, excuse me, Rebecca Lopez. Wyatt Hernandez,
Good afternoon, Judge.
afternoon, you may proceed.
Judge, I filed this writ for bond reduction. Judge, Ms. Lopez is currently in jail for a possession of controlled substance charge, second-degree felony out of McAllen PD. Her bond was set at $2,000 cash or surety. Judge, I'm appointed on this case. Her income is very limited. She hasn't been able to come up with the money to post that bond. I know it's already very low. She's been already in jail a little over 3 weeks now for this. So I wanted to see if the court might consider giving her a PR bond.
What says the state?
Judge, we're fine with the PR bond, maybe just some random UAs.
Mrs. Lopez, where do you live, man? Because the paperwork here says you're homeless.
Right now, I was living with a friend, but I left that place, so at that time, the day before the arrest, I was gonna call a friend. It got too late
Where were you born?
where was I born? In McAllen, Texas.
Okay. Do you have brothers or sister here in the valley, in Hidalgo County?
Yes,
What city do they live in?
in McAllen.
Talk to them? Your parents, where do your parents live?
I don't speak to my father, I don't speak to, I have my mom, she's not living.
I need an address. Paperwork says homeless. You need to get an address where they're gonna send notice to show up to court. Provide an address, they don't know where to send it, and when court comes and you're not there, they're gonna issue a warrant for your arrest. So I'm not gonna release you unless we have an address. Do you have an address where we can send the notice? And you'll check the mail there?
Yeah, my friend,
What's the address?
it's 205.
West what?
Gore,
How you spell that?
Gore,
V?
G as in George,
West Gore Street or what?
Avenue,
What city is that in?
this is not too far,
Is that a house or apartment?
it's a house.
Who's the person that lives there?
Friend.
You have a name of this
Oh,
friend?
sorry, yes, sir, Joan West,
You have a phone number?
I don't.
Yours?
Mine,
Yes.
it's area code 956-779-5554.
That's your cell number?
Yes, sir.
No, you visited with her? She has your contact information?
Yes, Judge.
When you get out, you need to contact your attorney and let them know where you're staying, where you're gonna be, and your phone number. If your address changes, you need to notify him so that he can make sure you show up to court. Is that clear? Bond will be reduced. $1,000 PR. No drugs or alcohol while you're out on bond. I'm gonna have you drug tested.
I've never,
I'm gonna have you drug tested weekly. You come back positive for drugs or alcohol, you're gonna come back to jail. Is that clear? Is that clear?
yes.
All right. Good luck to you. Have a seat. That's both the females. They may be excused.
Thank you, Judge. May I be
Thank you.
excused?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Next case we're gonna call is C 4680-24-I, State of Texas versus Joshua Netta, speak English, Joshua? Everybody in, right?
Sorry? I was.
Right there, raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I did.
Put your hand down. Stephanie Frank,
Yes, Judge. Good afternoon, Stephanie Frankie for Joshua Rivera. Filed this habeas motion. He has been in custody since September 25th. We have been to court for the misdemeanor charges and have bonds on those cases. This bond on the tampering fabricate evidence is set at $20,000. Mr. Rivera is a native of the Valley. He has a wife who has stated, put on the record that she wanted to drop the assault charges. He also has a 4-year-old daughter. He has an opportunity to begin a job on October 25th, wherein he'll be making $17.50 an hour. So we're asking the court to consider lowering the bond to $2,500. And so that way he can be released, start working, support his family, and any other conditions that the court finds reasonable for his bond.
okay, what says the state?
Judge, we're open to the bond being reduced in half. I mean, but just know that, you know, that DWI third the arrest was in 2020. He's picking up a misdemeanor theft in 2023. And then the police are responding to that assault. And then when they arrest him, while they're booking Joshua in, they observe him swallowing something. And then he admits to swallowing 6 Xanax pills that he had hidden in his groin area. I mean, Judge, definitely has an issue here. We asked that there be some type of interlock device and maybe a drug patch if he's able to get out.
Judge,
Okay.
just to inform the court, he has a portable device, is my understanding. The DWI from 2020 has never been filed. We do not have a cause number on that case. And yet he is still reported to his bondsman as required. And it's my understanding from my client that he says that he still has some kind of portable device, and maybe the state
And Judge,
can
we do have a
verify.
cause number.
Excuse me, sir?
It does show that the cause number was filed on the DWI. It's CR 3014-21-M. It actually shows, I checked earlier, Eloy Hernandez, he just logged off already as,
Okay.
I guess, his court-appointed attorney. He's got a $15,000 bond on that. So since it already has a case number, I don't have any jurisdiction over that. The assault charge, the complaint has been filed. It's the cause number also. I don't have any jurisdiction. So the only thing before the court is the tampering charge. There is an EPO that was issued, a protective order on the assault. And Mr. Rivera, there was a protective order that was issued on the assault charge. It will expire, looks like at the end of this month. I'm gonna ask that you have no harmful contact with the victim. We'll order weekly UAs. If you make bond, you're gonna get drug tested every week, sir. First time you come back positive, you're gonna come back to jail. Is that clear? Drugs or alcohol. I don't want any drugs or alcohol in your system. Is that clear? And they're gonna contact you, tell you to show up. If they tell you to show up tomorrow, you go, not when you want to show up. You show up when they tell you. You miss a visit or you come back positive, you come back sitting orange. Is that clear? Where do you live, sir? What city?
Currently, I'm living in Austin, Texas.
Who do you live with there?
My spouse and my child.
You have a house or an apartment?
Apartment.
Renting? Is your name on the lease?
I'm on the lease, but it's not under my name, it's under my spouse's name.
Okay, well, under this protective order, if you make bond tonight, doesn't look like you can go back to, what road is that apartment on?
I think it's Diamond Head.
You can't go back to 3516 North Bryan Road.
Okay.
I don't know whose address that is, but you can't have any contact with, what's the name of your wife? You can't have any contact with her until this order expires, which was be on the 25th. Don't even call from in here because that's a violation. Do you understand?
Answer out loud, Mr. Rivera.
The magistrate who issued the order was, Judge Bustos out of Edinburgh Municipal Court. So if you want to modify that, you'd have to go to him to have it modified. On this case, the tampering charge, I'm going to order weekly UAs. Bond will be reduced to $2,500 cash surety. Get that job and stay out of trouble, sir. Understand? Stay in contact with your attorney. Anything else, Ms. Frankie?
Judge, may I have that cause number for the DWI, please?
Sure. It's, excuse me, 3014-21-M as in Michael.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's all I have. May be excused.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
You too, Judge. Thank you.
Have a seat, sir. Good luck to you. Who's left here? Ito.
Hello, Judge. How you doing?
Good. We're gonna call C 4833-24-J, State of Texas versus Lorenzo Almanza. You speak English, Mr. Almanza?
Yes, Your Honor.
Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay, put your hand down. Go ahead, Vito.
Mr. Almanza got picked up on a burglary habitation charge. The burglary consisted of $90, Your Honor. And so we're just asking for a reduction at this time. Wasn't anything super egregious. He told me that he used to live there. I'm not sure if he was possibly under the influence and he walked into the house. And then he left, and I guess he got a little confused when the IC owner showed up. So we're just asking for any kind of reduction that the court would see fit at this time. I know the state's not an agreement. They've sent me a recommendation. There's no reduction on this, so we'll just be asking the court at this time.
All right. Troy?
Correct, Judge. We would object to a bond reduction. Vallejo's gang member, and then as he's approaching the victim's trying to confront him, and then he runs off with the cash that he has in his hand. I mean, we have a pretty solid case there as far as a victim eyewitness. The facts of the case, Judge, he was just leaving that particular residence.
Mr. Almanza, are you on parole or probation right now?
No, sir.
You're not on parole? You're not on probation?
He does have pending cases, Your Honor, other pending cases right now before the 232nd.
So where do you live, sir?
Done.
What's the address?
852.
Is that where you get the mail?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that a house or apartment?
So,
Who lives there with you?
I stayed there with my mom.
And how old are you?
34.
You have a job?
Currently, yes.
Where?
Where's that cool?
Doing?
Marble Towers.
What do you do there?
O sea, polichamos y todo para ir a instalar. Los marble towers, los sinks.
Are you married?
No, sir.
You have kids?
No.
I mean, Judge.
Bond will be reduced to $10,000 cash surety.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Stay away from the victim. Don't go back to that address, sir. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
I find out that you're going back over there, I'm gonna put you back in jail. Is that clear?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything else, Vito?
Nothing else, Your Honor. May I have excuse?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right. Good luck to you, sir. Have a seat. Let's see, Sergio Sanchez here. We'll give him a call. See. This case we're gonna call is C 4781-24-H, State of Texas versus Jose Sanchez. English, Mr. Sanchez? Raise your right hand. You weren't here earlier when we swore everybody in, right? Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God? Put your hand down.
Good
Tanya, I know Judith Catu is appointed on this. I saw
Yes.
your motion to substitute. Did you retain Ms. Ramirez, sir? Did you hire, your family hired Tanya Ramirez? Okay, so is that who you're requesting to be your attorney? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and grant your motion to substitute.
Thank you, Judge.
We're set for a bond reduction. I don't know if you've had an opportunity, you want more time or not?
Yes,
we can reset it.
Yes, Judge, we did look at Mr. Sanchez's bond. We have two sex assault cases with a $50,000 bond each, and then one with a $10,000 bond. On those new charges, Judge, we were gonna ask for a bond reduction. Mr. Sanchez, he's 22 years old, Judge. He works in the refineries. His mom, he actually, I believe that he lives in his mom's house in FAR. They don't, the alleged victim in this case, Judge, she's a young lady, around the same age as Mr. Sanchez. They're not related, and they don't live in the same household. So we wouldn't have a problem with Mr. Sanchez, having to be around the victim, Judge. Now, for the court's information, we are also going to have to go to the 430th, because he does have two motions to revoke in that court, which don't have bonds yet. So we're gonna be he's gonna have to not just post for these bonds, but those bonds as well. So with that anticipation, we were trying to see if the court could reduce the bonds for these charges. And then from here, we're gonna continue to try to get the bond set for the motions to revoke.
And I noticed on the motions to revoke, they actually set a bond on October 9th. On one of them is set for $9,000 cash surety, and the other one is set for, that's on the assault, the deadly weapon charge. And the criminal mischief charge, the bond on that one was set also on the 9th at $3,000 cash surety. And those were based on the motions to revoke that were filed. But I noticed that the NTRs did not include this new charge, or these two new charges. I'm not sure the judge was aware of them or not. This incident happened prior to that, but he's only been in jail for a few days, or it came afterwards. Anyways, just want you to know that there are bonds on those two cases. What says the state, Troy?
Judge, we would object to a bond reduction. Let's see. I mean, he's out on bond. He's out on probation on an aggravated assault case, deadly weapon. I mean, not only is he picking up the sexual assault case, but he's picking up a possession of a controlled substance and a tampering with evidence in McLean County. Those are part of the allegations in the revo. I mean, he's not reporting on probation. Judge, and relating back to this case, it does say that Jane Doe, the pseudonym victim, is sexually assaulted by her cousin. So I believe there is a family relation. She is about 15 or 16 years old. The defendant there is about, what, 21 or 22 years old. We're alleging that he penetrated her vagina twice, Judge, two separate occasions, and on one occasion grabbed her breast over her shirt before penetrating her vagina with his penis, Judge. Just facts of the case. We asked that there be no bond reduction. He hasn't been behaving while on probation on another felony, and then county cases as well.
Mr. Sanchez, go ahead, Tanya.
Judge, the situation on these, and we understand the situation that my client was prior to picking up these new charges. However, in this particular circumstance, there were our client and the alleged victim in this case, Judge, they were in a party. There was no indication that anything had happened. She did report it later, in a couple of days later after this incident had happened. So aside from her making this allegation, Judge, I don't believe the state has other than her word, which aside from that, I don't think she went to get to the hospital or anything to get any type of evidence that my client did anything to her. So Judge, my client is going to be fighting these charges. And at this time, these are allegations, and just the same way that she's saying that this happened, he's saying that that it didn't happen, Judge. At least not the way that the victim is trying to portray the facts in this case. Now, this is a separate case from the other ones. He does understand that the predicament that he was in with probation. I have explained to his mother what's going on. Now, we are trying to put Mr. Sanchez in a good place, at least for right now, Judge, in order so he can help us with his representation. Now, not just in this case, but in the other cases as well. We're gonna be representing him in all his cases. But in order for us to better represent him, it's better if he's out on bond. The family is willing to post a bond and any conditions that the court is willing to assess. He's okay with no contact with the victim whatsoever. He has no problem with that. He does it with his mom. Now he does work out of town, Judge. So we would just be asking that if anything that he could be able to travel to work, which is he does have documentations of where he works and all that.
And Judge, the other allegations is that he's not completing his anger management class. He didn't submit to the ASI screening. He didn't do the 128 community service hours. He's testing positive for cannabis on September 11th, 2023, and on September 1st of 2023, and for cocaine on March 30th of 2023, and of course not reporting while he was on probation in 2023 and this year, Judge. He hasn't been complying while he's been out on bond.
Judge, my client would be okay with being on the AIP program, Judge, as well. So long as he's allowed to go to work, that's okay with him. He does have a place to stay.
AIP, I don't believe they'll allow him to leave the county. Mr. Sanchez, where do you work, or where were you working?
I was working for this company called named Noe. We go different projects.
How long have you been working there?
For like 4 months, 5 months.
When was the last time you worked there?
2 months ago or a month ago, before I got incarcerated.
You've only been in jail for 6 days on this charge.
I've been incarcerated since August of 14. And when I gave me the bonding now and the warrant, I was trying to work, you know.
There's a protective order, sir, that was issued by the magistrate on this case. You're not to have any contact with Mrs. Maldonado or her sister or her children. I believe you know who they are. You're not to commit any family violence. You're not to possess any firearms. You're not to communicate with in any fashion. No text messages, no instant messages, Snapchat, whatever. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
You're not to go within 200 yards of their business, their residence, or if they're in school, their place where they attend school. Do you understand me? Protective order will expire December the 10th, issued by Judge, it's like Judge Viescas out of FAR. I believe it was Judge Viescas.
Yes.
You get a copy of it when you're released. I'm telling you, he told you, I'm telling you, and you'll have a copy, so there's no excuses. Understand me? I'm gonna order weekly UAs. So they're gonna drug test you every week. You need to make sure you show up. In order that you not be allowed to leave the county if you stay in Hidalgo County. In order that you be released to AIP officials, which means you'll be under house arrest, or you can work here locally. You gotta give them the information where you're working, the address, the hours, and they'll verify with your employer, and then they'll go check if you're working and you're at where you're supposed to be, or if you're home when you're supposed to be. If you're not following any one of those conditions, they'll notify the court. You're gonna possibly end up back in jail. Is that clear? Before they release you, they're gonna have you sign a contract with about 28 rules. Don't get arrested, don't violate any rules, don't drugs, no alcohol. Just make sure you comply. First time you don't comply, they'll notify the court and you will be back in jail. Is that clear? If you make bond, you're still on probation on those other cases, so you need to continue reporting to probation. What are you asking on bonds, Tanya?
Judge, we were gonna ask, for, five, well, if we can do, the family is a little bit on a struggle. We were gonna ask for if it could be like a total of anywhere between, $1,000, $3,000, with the 10%, judge, because the family is going through a lot of struggle, and he's one of the providers in the family as well. So him being in jail is also not helping in the financial situation of the family, at this point.
And Judge, I say you consider also the victim's family as well.
Say it again. What was that, Troy?
I asked the court to also consider the victim's family. I know defense is saying they want to consider the defendant's hardship and defendant's family being affected by him being in custody. We just asked the consideration be to the victims in this case and their family.
I'm concerned that he's been on probation in this amended motion, which was filed in April, not reported in September of last year, January, February, or March. He had stopped reporting probation on both cases.
Yes, Judge. So we're hoping that with this situation that Mr. Sanchez presents himself, that this is enough. Now his mother is gonna be talking to him as well when he comes out and everything. And so we're hoping that with this situation is enough for him to follow up with all the court orders and all of that, and we don't have to be in this place again. And I will be talking to him once he comes out.
What I was gonna say is, that being said, Judge Ramon did reduce his bond on the rebels to those amounts as indicated. On these two cases, the sexual assault charge bond will be reduced to $7,500 cash surety times 2 on both counts, and bond on the indecency charge will be reduced to $2,000 cash surety. It's a total of 15, 16, 17,000, plus all other conditions imposed.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Anything else?
Not from defense, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck, Mr. Hennessy. Yes, thank you, Tanya.
Thank you, Judge. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Next case we're gonna call is C 4832-24-A, State of Texas versus Juan Cantu. No habla inglés, ¿verdad, señor? Okay. Second, this is your motion. He does have an ice hold. He's Spanish speaking. Just go slow so that we can do the translation.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Sergio Sanchez, I'm appointed counsel for Mr. Cantu. The charge is smuggling of persons. I was not aware of the immigration detainer. His bond is $75,000. He's indigent, Your Honor. Can't afford the bond is currently set. We're at the mercy of the court, Judge.
All right, thank you. What says the state, Troy?
Would object to the bond reduction. I mean, we're looking at 3 different individuals that he's alleged to be smuggling. He has an ICE hold, Judge.
Mr. Cantu, there's an immigration hold on your case, which means if you make bond, they're going to release you to immigration authorities. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you have family here in Hidalgo County?
Aquí en Hidalgo? No.
Bond will be reduced to $7,500 cash surety.
107,500.
Anything else, Sergio?
No, Judge, if for some reason he's able to make the bond, and if for some reason he's deported in this period between now and his court setting, I'll be able to make arrangements at the bridge if I have to. I've done it before, Judge, that they release him to my custody and I can get him to the courthouse. Could you just please admonish him that either way, he still has to go to court, one way or the other?
Mr. Cantu, if you are if you make bond and you release to immigration and they deport you, this case is not gonna go away. You're still gonna have to show up at the courthouse at a later time to take care of it. If you don't show up, a warrant will be issued for your arrest. Do you understand that? But if you are deported, make contact even through a phone call from the other side with your attorney, and he can possibly make arrangements to have you meet at the bridge, show up at for court the day of your hearing. Do you understand? All right. Anything else, Sergio?
Thank you for recalling it, Judge.
You bet, no problem. Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Bye.
Anybody's name I didn't call? I think we got everybody. We just need to get the female in here. No. Okay. Maybe excuse you. I'll make sure you comply with the conditions. All right, we've got one more, a female. Sandra, are you there on the screen?
Yes, Your Honor, I am here.
It's C 4757-24-A, State of Texas versus Tina White.
That is correct, Your Honor. Melisandra Mendoza on behalf of Ms. White.
They're gonna bring her after they, excuse me, after they release these individuals. They were having some issues in the back.
Yes,
Do
Your Honor.
you have a recommendation on this one, Troy? It's a, is it assault, threat against a peace officer? I didn't see any priors on there. I'm not sure though.
To reduce in half, Judge.
Your Honor, my client, just for purposes of the record and our hearing, Melisandra Mendoza on behalf of Ms. White, my client has been incarcerated for approximately 14 days. It is a terrorist officer. Her bond is set at 20,000 cash surety. My client has no holds. She also has no family, no one to contact, Your Honor. I'm not sure that she's going to be able to make.
Oh, looks like she got cut off. She lost back on. Shows an address for her. I just want to make sure she's not homeless. Does she have any priors, Trey? I'm sorry.
I'm not seeing any priors here in Hidalgo County, but let me double check over here.
Okay.
Yeah, put the phone on, let me try again.
I see some history out of Cameron.
Older recently.
Yeah.
Misdemeanor theft from 2016, Harlingen, then Brownsville, a PI or like a Alamo, criminal trespass. Oh yeah, that's it. Just that stuff from Cameron County, misdemeanor stuff.
Okay.
She's in Alpha. Was she gonna go to?
Melisandra?
7845. Oh, they already bringing them.
I'm trying to find a role, so they can break it.
Oh.
It's already 3, so.
Judge, police are responding to a Murphy gas station for a non-cooperative female for a medical call. And then they're trying to help her out. They're trying to assist her. And then she's like resisting and she's kind of running around, refusing to leave. And then they detain her. And then while she's in custody, she says to the officer, someone needs to whoop your ass. I got a bitch to do it.
Yeah, I read the complaint. Lisandra, are you there? Logging on a different line.
Your Honor, I
There you
apologize.
are.
My computer did not have a camera, so I had to log in. Your Honor, my client has been incarcerated, and I'm sorry, before we got cut off. She's been incarcerated for 14 days. Her charges are a terroristic threat against a peace officer. Her current bond is set at 20,000 cash surety. She has no holds. She has no family to contact. Based on the conversation that I've had with her, she is homeless, Your Honor. So any consideration regarding her bond would be greatly appreciated. She will not be able to make any bond other than a PR bond.
Does she have an address, Lisandra?
No, not that I
Yeah,
know
that's
of.
They have one here, but I don't know if it's still valid or not. It's out of Westlaco.
Your Honor, now when I did speak to her, I did have a very hard time communicating with her in her understanding the adjustment with the procedures about a writ, the procedures about the case being indicted and the case being officially being of existence at the DA's office for that matter. She wasn't able to comprehend. She obviously wants to be out of jail. However, based on her representation to me, she has no means to be able to make that, any type of bond other than her being released on a PR bond.
You haven't had any contact with any family members at all?
She has no family, Your Honor. She did indicate that to us very clearly. So there's no one that we can reach out to. There's no one that can help her out. So she's basically out on her own.
White girl? Yeah, and she's not, they didn't bring her in because she was being uncooperative.
Well, I mean, I myself had a difficult time. Hold on, I don't know why this thinks. I myself had a difficult time trying to, like I said, communicate with her.
Yeah, my concern is giving her a PR bond and we don't have an address where to send the notice to.
Correct, or her showing up for that matter. I totally understand, the court's position.
What I can do, I'll lower it to $1,000 cash surety.
Okay.
And if you can find, if she can make that bond, great. If not, if you can find an address of a family member or friend that will be willing to receive notice for her, and provide it to the state and to myself, then I'll consider a PR bond. But for right now, I'm just going to reduce it to $1,000 cash surety.
I appreciate it, Your Honor. Thank you so much. Troy, I'm not sure how quickly this case can be indicted.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure intake is on it, but.
Okay, I appreciate your courtesy. Thank you, Judge. I have no further business before this honorable court. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you, Melisandre.
Thank you, Troy. Thank you, Judge.
Troy, thank you very much for your help. Have a good afternoon.
Judge, we addressed Noe, right? Noe Hernandez?
Noe Hernandez, let me see. The attorney filed a non-suit and that was C-4754-24E, and on Henry Villarreal, C-4791-24H, he bonded out.
All right, sounds
on the
good.
weekend, I think.
All right, thank
have
you,
a good
Judge.
weekend.
Have a good rest of the week. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.